Inside of today's video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 ways that you can ruin your team inside of your family farm operation. What's up, everyone? My name is Jace Young. I'm the founder of a company called Legacy Farmer, and inside of that company, what we do is we've helped over 300 family farms simplify and streamline the entire financial side of their operation and help them learn their numbers at a deep level so that they can implement the systems and the processes to make sure that their operation lives on for generations into the future. Now, your team, they can be your employees, people that you've hired onto the team, or they could actually be your siblings or your parents or other family members that you're working with inside of the operation. Now, why does this matter? Well, inside of the past, several years that we've had Legacy Farmer, we've worked with more than 300 family farms across the country. And so we've seen a lot of different things. We've seen a lot of different cultural places and the type of culture that people have built inside of their operations. We've seen the type of just overall morale inside of the operation. We've seen the type of standards and pay structures and everything inside of the operation. And we've learned a lot about how to not run your team. And we've learned a lot just from all of our members and going through that. And then I've also learned a lot just from building out Legacy Farmer and the type of culture and incentives and environment and everything that I want to build inside of my company by itself. Now, why does this matter? Well, if you don't have your team set up and you don't operate inside of a good environment where everybody's on the same page, they're aligned, they know what they want and everything, it's going to drastically impact your life. And we've seen that with our members. Some of our members wide awake at night just because they can't stop thinking about all the things that are going wrong inside of the operation. A lot of our members, they can't ever get away for a family vacation or anything like that. Reason is because they have to be on the operation, because even though they may have a team that works under them or whatever, they haven't set up the right things in order to be able to get away, which impacts how they operate inside of their family and everything that we're actually doing this for, right? All of us get into business because we ultimately want to build something great, but we want to build something that gives us time to spend with people that we love most, like our family. And a lot of farmers and ranchers today, they just aren't doing that. And that is because of these things I'm going to talk about inside of this video. So let's jump into the top 5 ways to ruin your family farm operation. The first one, micromanage. Micromanage every single person on your team. Do not let them take one step or the other without you telling them it's okay to do this. Now, inside of our family farm operation, this was my granddad. He wanted to micromanage every single person inside of that operation. My dad ran the feed yard, and my dad worked with the 15 other team members inside of that feed yard, and he will explain it to you that way as well. Now, the problem came, though, where my dad would get them all lined up for the day. Everybody's clear on what they're doing. Everybody's pumped up. Everybody's ready to go. And then my granddad comes in and just screws up the entire day. Goes and talks directly to this team member or that team member, and then my dad's like, well, what the hell? Why am I doing this? Now, do you think my granddad was ever really happy? No, most of the time not, because micromanagers, they constantly worry about what everybody else is doing. They're constantly adding in all this stress to their life. They are never happy because they are constantly focused on micromanaging and really critiquing and analyzing everything that everybody else is doing around them. And because of that, they'll never build something that really lasts long term and build something that really just a place in an environment that people are happy to be in. So if you're a micromanager, good luck to you long term. You're not going to survive, and you're going to build a culture where not even your family enjoys being around you because you like to be analytical and critical of everybody else but yourself. Okay. Number 2 in this way is to be centralized. Now, what do I mean by be centralized? Well, there's centralized and there's decentralized. Centralized operations and centralized business owners have to have everything run through them. Now, being centralized is in itself a result of micromanaging, because you are training and conditioning everybody else around you to where anytime they want to do anything at all, guess who it has to go through? You. They have to get approval. Guess what that does for you? Well, it locks you into this operation. When I talked earlier about a lot of our members first time, coming in, they don't get to go spend time with their family or anything like that. Well, it's because they've created a centralized operation. That thing does not run unless they are there. And ultimately, again, the entire reason we get into business and we want to be business owners is so that we can create some sort of freedom that the operation or the business can run by itself, and we can go do what we want to do, spending time with our kids, taking a vacation, whatever that may be. And that's a problem, guys. This is a big problem because it impacts you not just in business, but in every area of life. And if you're running a centralized operation where everything has to go through you, again, your phone's blowing up all day long. You're frustrated just because you don't get any time to yourself. You don't even get 5 seconds to think for yourself without your phone blowing up or somebody else asking you a simple question. And then you want to sit there and blame them and get mad at them because they should just know what to do. But the second that they do that and they take a chance and they go do something on their own, you want to criticize them. right? So again, this goes back kind of a good relationship there between micromanager and a centralized operation. They are one and the same. And this is the type of culture and environment that you're building there when you're running a centralized operation and micromanaging on top of that. Now, what's the opposite of this? Well, maybe you can get your team and give them some power, give them some control, and actually start looking at them as an asset inside of your operation and not just an expense, and really invest in training and leading them and helping them understand what the overall goals are of the operation. And this leads us straight into our next topic here. Number 3, have zero training in place. Want your farm to fail? Have zero training in place for your team. And this is what I'm talking about. When I'm saying your phone is blowing up all day long because people are asking basic questions because you've trained them to have everything go through you and you've micromanaged them to where they have zero confidence in anything that they're doing, have zero training in place for them. They're always going to be going through you. Every single thing, they are going to be going through you. Whereas like with you as a business owner, if you would just spend some time, 5-10 minutes a day, making videos, creating SOPs, whatever that may be for you, and creating this database to where your team can go and get answers to problems or questions without having to bug you. You really have to start to categorize everything that you do inside of the operation and make sure you are getting it somewhere where your entire team can have access to it. That way, instead of calling you and bugging you, which they don't want to do, by the way. Your team hates having to do that. They know that they're going to get criticized on the other end of that phone call. They know that they're going to be told, or you're going to get pissed off and you're going to get angry or whatever the solid majority of farmers operate today. And then guess what? They're not going to do it again. And instead of them, calling you and having the confidence to call you in the future because they don't want to make a mistake, they're not going to do it. And they're going to risk making the mistake, costing you tens of thousands of dollars as a business owner, strictly because you've conditioned them to be fearful of asking for help. Hey, this is not the type of environment that you want to build. This is not the type of environment, again, that's going to get you to where you want to be inside of your operation. And these are some of the things that we're helping our members inside Legacy Farmer stop. Okay, moving into number 4, no mission statement or core values. When you look at your team right now, and I look at your operation, for example, the way you attract the best people, my friend, is you have to have something there that ties them more than money. They have to be there more than just a paycheck. They have to be attached to something that is bigger than themselves. They have to be attached to something that is going to lead themselves and their families to the future that they really want. So inside of Legacy Farmer, for example, I'm focused on building a culture and environment where, yes, I want Legacy Farmer to accomplish all my goals that I have for my family. More than that, I want it to accomplish the goals that my team has for their family. I want it to accomplish the goals that my customers have for their family. That comes before me. And if I focus on getting other people what they want, guess what? I will naturally get exactly what I want as well. But again, if I don't have the right mission statement in place, or I haven't really thought through that, like what this operation or what this business stands for, what are we doing, what problem are we solving, or if I haven't thought through the core values, you don't have any chance of actually bringing in the right people. Okay, because the majority of farmers and ranchers today, when they say, oh, I'm looking for a hired hand, you're looking for an employee that's there for a paycheck, do what they're told, shuts up, doesn't say anything. Good luck finding that person there that's going to stay there very long and put up with that. They're not going to. It's got to be something more there to attach them, like a mission statement or something you guys are going as a team, as a unit, as one. And then you have to really fine tune your core values. That way you make sure that you're bringing in people to your team that have the same core values as you. Because if you don't, let's say you have 5 people on your team, one of them is a bad apple that does not match up with the core values of everybody else. I don't have to tell you this, one bad apple will spoil the whole bunch, right? And all of a sudden one person is creating this negative culture. So you got to make sure you have your mission statement in line. You also have your core values in line, and that will dramatically change the overall environment and culture and productivity and results inside of your operation. Finally, number 5, be selfish. So just what I was talking about a little bit ago, when I'm building Legacy Farmer, yes, I want Legacy Farmer to be a vehicle that allows me to hit all my personal financial goals and just goals for my family of time and freedom and wealth and everything there. But more than that, I want it to build and be able to build the life that my team wants for their family and their future across wealth and time and freedom and everything. More than that, our customers. Now, a majority of farmers and ranchers today, do you think they think that way? Most of them don't. My granddad didn't. It was all about himself. It was what he wanted. It was what he wanted his operation, what he could achieve financially. And the problem is, though, is when you do that and you're only focused on money, guess what that is going to bring into your life? Nobody's going to care about you, because at the end of the day, people don't remember you for the money that you made. They remember you for the impact that you had actually inside of their life. And if you aren't there for that, if all your focus is on money the entire time and you're just being selfish, nobody's going to stay with you. Long term, nobody's going to stay with you. So you have to really fix these things and you have to focus on these things. So my friend, I'm going to kind of close out this video. I hope some of these things really made you think about your operation, because the way to build a profitable operation and one that's has a great environment and a great culture and everybody's happy to be there and everybody's focused on the same goal and the same target is to do the opposite of the 5 things that I just talked about. Okay. If we go back to micromanaging, number one, right? Number one way to ruin your farm operation is micromanage. Try not micromanaging for the day. Okay. Number 2, be centralized. Try being decentralized. Give your people some power. Let them make mistakes. Let them learn and let them grow. Spend time training and educating them. Leads us to number 3 of having 0 training in place. Take time cataloging and writing down exactly what happens inside of your operation on a day-to-day basis. That way people, again, in the future, when they run into a problem or situation, they're not just calling you. Give them the power and the tools to go through and figure out and solve the problem themselves. They will love that. They will feel empowered because of this. Okay, you need to understand you're also building their confidence as a member of your team as well. Okay, and then number 4, no mission statement or core values. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. If you haven't done this, work on this. That way you can attract the right people and you can start aligning the right team and everything that's all focused on the same mission, has the same core values, so you know they're going to work really well together, everything like that. In the beginning, guys, I thought that was a waste of time. Could not be further from the truth, because that is arguably the most important thing inside of a business, because that is going to attract the team that is going to help you ultimately take your business to where you want it to go. And without the team, you're not going there, period. Number 5, be selfish. Try not being selfish. Try thinking through, okay, am I creating an environment and an opportunity for my team that really serves their lifestyle that they want to build for their family? Okay, I told my team this last week. I never want them to have to sacrifice their lifestyle to serve Legacy Farmer. I want Legacy Farmer to be a career that serves their lifestyle. There's a massive difference in those two things, and you really need to understand that and think through that. So my friend, that concludes today's video. Hope you found it valuable, and we will catch you on the next one.